Hi, I'm Brett, and today we're at the SEMA show in Las Vegas, the USA, and it's 2015 and we're at the whiteline stand. I've got a great opportunity to update you on the recent developments for the new MY15 WRX and the STI models. And behind me is the rear suspension chassis assembly for all the components that Whiteline have developed. And it's a good opportunity to show you these parts from outside the car, because normally they're all hidden up underneath the rear suspension, you know, encapsulated in the body and things like that. So I've got my trusty cameraman from Whiteline behind me. We're going to show you some close-up of parts and explain exactly what they'll do. So you can see just here, this particular part replaces the tow control on the rear hub assembly. It's a lot easier to adjust than the factory standard part. Can you get up underneath there? Can you see there's a locking tab up underneath here which locks off the factory standard slide adjuster. Now that particular part makes it a lot easier to adjust it than using the factory original part. On the top we've got the replacement bushes, which it's a little bit hard to see, but these bolts here, when you rotate them, are an offset cam assembly which allows the top of the arm here to move in and out, which allows you adjustment of camber. So if you're lowering the rear end of your WRX or your STI and you want to recover some of that change in camber because the car's sitting at a lower height, these two components are able to be adjusted, so you can adjust the camber at the top. But you'll see on this side here, this is a replacement factory bush for the factory standard joint, so there's no camber adjustment in that at all. But that's the other alternative that Whiteline offer. Down here, they've got the replacement bushes top and bottom to allow the rear factory bush to be more solidly mounted in the chassis frame, because these parts encapsulate the top and bottom of the factory bush, and you'll see it's actually what they call an infill bush, and that part will actually go up inside there and fill the voids, which is normally allows that bush to move around a lot more inside the factory fitted part. So I'll just put that back up in there like that. So let's go around the front, and now these parts here mount the rear diff. Now this is a completely replacement bush, which you can see is just one whole bush assembly only. But if you look carefully, you'll see here the voids are actually filled by a urethane infill bush, which is again another Whiteline part. But from the front, let's go around the front, and you can see that again they've designed a bush that goes in from the front and fills those voids, and then is replacement. And you can see from this side that's a complete replacement bush as well. So this one's got a little bit more give in it. This one's probably a little bit more motorsport orientated. The other big thing is the top mounts up the front here, similar to the ones we're talking about at the back. Again, stops the rear suspension, so if you want a more tighter rear end of the car to reduce the amount of movement of the chassis on the cross member, these things allow you to take advantage of that. But of course down the bottom here we've got one of the most popular upgrades you'll do on any Subaru is the replacement sway bar, and you can see here the adjustment available between the three hole centers, which changes the fulcrum length of the sway bar and effectively changes its stiffness. This is a replacement end link, which on a Subaru typically, if you upgrade the components or ends, can sometimes give you reliability problems. The Whiteline components has got a lot of movement down the bottom here, because when this moves up and down, the bar will move in a different arc to the rear suspension as well. So this actually goes through a lot of travel in the complete rear end of the car when you're going over bumps. And the other thing that comes part of the Whiteline kit when you're fitting a rear sway bar is this stiffening brace, which allows the sway bar to work a lot better, because this brace here connects the stiffer part of the rear suspension cross member to this ear that comes down, which the sway bar is mounted to. And this makes this ear a lot stiffer, by them making sure that the rear sway bar works a lot better when you fit that replacement upgraded part. So there you have it. That's a lot of really good easy ways to see how the components from Whiteline can improve your car. No matter what you're driving, go to the Whiteline website at whiteline.com.au. There's a USA website for USA models as well, but of course when you're in Australia you can contact us at mrtperformance.com.au. We sell and recommend a lot of the Whiteline components. Of course we've got a lot of those test components in our R&D vehicles, which is our own WRX, our own BRZ, and of course our Rally Forester turbo diesel. For more information, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. But for this year here at SEMA, on behalf of MRT and Whiteline, I'm Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.